The 13th episode of Season 6 of Walking Dead just went off, the same boat, and it picked up right where the last episode left off, with Carol and Maggie being captured by Negan's group. It was started out slow, kind of slowly progressing the story. Mostly dealt with Carol and Maggie, with trying to eventually escape, or try and plan an escape, see if they could get away, maybe do a trade with the guy from Negan's group that Rick and Daryl had. But did shed some light on Negan's group a little bit, tiny bit maybe, with them being crazy. They're all kind of nuts, it seems like. They're maniacs. They all seem to say everyone's Negan, so if everybody just, if it's like I know there's one single guy is Negan, but if they're all going along with it, then any group they come upon won't know who Negan is, which is an interesting tactic. Spread confusion, I guess. But most of this episode was Carol and Maggie in like some area room in some building that they were taken to. I'm like on the killing floor, so I don't know exactly what type of building it was off the top of my head, but maybe, I don't know. Carol and Maggie were tied up, questioned a little bit about what group they were in, where they were at, and Carol kind of seemed like she was not wanting to kill so much anymore. Maybe Morgan was rubbing off on her a little bit, but definitely some of the old Carol kind of popped up a little bit here and there through the episode, towards the end of the episode. But there's that redheaded lady, Paula, was the main one in charge here, and there's a couple other people that were in Negan's group with her, and they just kept them there, and that's where pretty much the majority of the episode, like 99.9% of it, since they did a little flashback of previous episode leading up to this one. It was interesting to see how Carol was becoming now, and struggle she's having with killing, which sadly she needs to kind of go back to the way she was, especially dealing with this new group. They seem pretty ruthless, and you're gonna have to have everybody on point to be ready to kill somebody if they need to, because in this world, you can't really not do anything. If you get attacked, see someone getting attacked, you got to go help them and be ready to kill people. And of course, Maggie's still pregnant, at least a couple months, I think they said, possibly. So hopefully she's pretty much done with going out on missions, because there's no reason to put her out there at harm. But yeah, this towards the end, it was definitely interesting seeing them working their way to escaping and how they worked it out. But they did finally meet up towards the end with Glenn and everybody, so they are safe once again. But it was interesting to see Carol's journey from the beginning, kind of acting rattled, and then her problems that she had with dealing with some of the issues at hand. She's had a pretty nice arc overall in the whole series, I thought, originally with that horrible husband she had, and then losing a daughter, and eventually working up to being a really strong member of the group. Really helpful to have her around. Now she's kind of wavering at a point where they really need her to be strong. So with only 3 episodes left, it'll be interesting to see where they take Carol, how she progresses. See what will happen when they eventually do clash with Negan, because he's obviously coming. They're already having major issues with his group that they partially took out last week. Yeah, pretty interesting episode. It's a little more story driven for most of it, for a good part of it. They pick up with some action towards there at the end. Fighting Paul a little bit, fighting a couple other characters, but definitely check it out. It'll be interesting to see where they go from here, and the finale is probably going to be really crazy, but we'll see. It's not often we see Rick's group being the aggressors, but that's kind of where they're having to be at the moment. It is what it is, but I don't know. It'll just be nuts, I think. I'm going to call it here. I'll see you all next time.